Here are the materials you'll need for this tutorial. The first thing we're going to do is design our phone case digitally before we put it together in real life. Now, you don't necessarily have to plan out your phone case design before actually putting it together. You can definitely just print out your pictures and figure out your design on the spot. Personally, I like to plan it out beforehand, and I'm going to be doing that using Canva. You can do this using a free Canva account. You don't need a pro account to plan out your design. And you also don't need to use Canva specifically. Any design or mood boarding software, or really any software of that nature, will do just fine. So before you start designing, you're going to want to make sure you have the dimensions of your phone. So I have the iPhone 14 Plus, so my dimensions are going to be 6.33 by 3.07 inches. And then I'm going to create a new document in Canva using those dimensions. So from your homepage in Canva, go to Create, Custom Size, and then input your dimensions, then Create New Design. And then we have our canvas. The next thing you're going to want to do is block off the area where your camera goes on your phone case. That way you don't end up adding any design elements there. To do this, literally all I did was look up a picture of my phone. So I just Googled iPhone 14 Plus, and then I found a good picture that showed the camera. Then I uploaded it to Canva and brought it into my document and then overlaid it on top. Then I'm going to overlay a square on top of the camera section on the case, and then I'm going to delete the picture of the phone. And then this way I have the camera blocked off so I can design around it. Okay, so now we can actually start designing. So you can do a couple different methods here. One is going to be to find cute images on Pinterest or somewhere and download them and then upload them into Canva and drag them onto your canvas. 2, you can design your own custom elements from scratch, which is what I'm going to be doing. Or 3, which is to use the free template and printable linked in my description using all of the elements that I'll be creating in today's video. To use this, all you have to do is make some minor optional customizations in Canva using a free or a pro account, then print out the sheet, cut out the elements, and glue them onto your case. A couple tips for when you're designing: I recommend not placing any elements too close to the edge, and keep in mind that your corners will end up being rounded, so try not to place any elements too close to the corners as well. And of course, leave lots of space around the camera. As you can see, I'm going for a pink, blue, and white sort of theme, although I'm using an off-white to give it just a little bit of a softer look. And then I'm adding a bunch of fun little elements like a Polaroid strip, a postcard. I'm making this little heart sticker that looks like a magic 8-ball from scratch, and another pink sticker that says always protect your peace. And then I'm adding this envelope as a temporary placeholder because I'm actually going to be folding my own mini envelope out of paper, and I will be showing you how to do that later on. And yeah, I'm just going to keep playing around until I'm happy with my design. So I'm done with my design. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited to get this printed out and onto my phone. But before we do that, we have to get our design print ready. So to do that, you're going to want to make another brand new document in Canva that matches your printer paper size. For most of you, this is going to be the standard 8.5 by 11 inches. Then you're going to want to copy and paste the elements from your original canvas into your new one, and then separate everything out and place them so that nothing is overlapping. Make sure to leave a decent amount of space between each element because you're going to be printing this out and then cutting out all of the elements, so you want to make sure they're easy to cut around. Once you're done laying everything out, the next thing you're going to do is download this sheet as a print ready file. So in Canva, go to the upper right corner, click on Share, Download, and then select PDF Print underneath File Type. Then select either RGB or CMYK underneath Color Profile, and then click Download. And then from there, you're going to print out your file. And so now that we have our sheet with all of our elements on it, we are going to cut everything out and then get ready to glue everything onto our phone case. So we have our little envelope shape right here, and as you can see, we have our outlines for the template, and we can see the fold lines for where we're gonna fold. And before we start folding, we're actually gonna flip this over, and we're gonna wanna fold all of these flaps inward so that when our envelope is all done, we're not gonna end up seeing any of the lines because this is the side that's going to be on the outside. So go ahead and start by folding the smaller flaps on the sides inward. So then it should look like this, and then we're gonna fold the top and bottom flaps over. So then we have all of our creases. Then I'm gonna fold the flaps over so that the side ones are over top the bottom flap. And then I'm just gonna fold the top flap over. And then you should have something that looks like this. Next, we're going to take our teeny tiny little heart seal and a glue stick and glue the seal onto the envelope. Then I'm just going to glue this top flap of the envelope down on top of it. So we've made our mini envelope, and we do have just a couple more assets to glue together, including our little heart magic 8 ball and our postcard. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this 8 in the center of the heart and glue the image for the postcard on the background. And the reason I chose to print these out separately and glue these assets on top of each other instead of just printing out like the postcard as one image, for example, is because I like how they look better when I layer these pieces of paper on top of each other. I just find it has a little bit more of a textured and layered look to it. So let's go ahead and glue these together. Now that we have our postcard and our magic 8 heart glued together, we just have one more element to glue. So we're gonna go ahead and make our Polaroid strip, and all I'm gonna do for this is glue these images onto our blank strip here. So now that we have all of our elements cut out and ready to go, we have to create the base that we're going to glue them onto. And for this part of the tutorial, you're going to want to grab your pencil, a pair of scissors, and your clear phone case. So go ahead and just put your phone case on top of the background for your design and just make sure it fits, because if not, you might want to go back into your design software and reprint your background a little bit bigger. But if it does, take your pencil, and what we're going to do is trace around the case and on the inside of the camera section. And then that's going to create an outline of the case that we're then going to cut out. Then you should have something that looks like this, so go ahead and cut this out. So now you should have something that looks like this, and I'm going to go ahead and just erase any of the pencil lines that you can still see so that we have a nice clean look. So now that we have our base here, I'm going to fit it inside of my clear phone case just to make sure that it fits. And then if it doesn't, I'm going to trim anywhere that needs to be trimmed to make sure it fits. So I think my base is actually a little bit too big, so I'm just going to retrace and trim where needed until this fits comfortably inside of my clear case. So I'll see you guys when I have that done. So I did end up having to reprint this, retrace it, and then cut it out again, but I did finally manage to get something that fits pretty snugly into my phone case. And at this step, you can start just gluing your elements onto the case, but what I'm gonna do is actually put this onto a piece of sturdier paper so that it's just a little bit thicker and has just a little bit more weight to it. So I have this thicker piece of like craft paper here, and what I'm gonna do is glue this directly onto the paper and then cut it out. And then that way we'll have this thicker piece of paper to make for a little bit of a stronger base for our phone case. So now I have this all cut out and glued together, and as you can see, it's a lot more sturdy. So now I'm just gonna make sure that it fits well in my case. So now I'm gonna take all of the elements that we cut, printed, and glued earlier and glue them onto the case. I'm also gonna have my little digital mock-up nearby as a reference because I think that will be helpful. So this is what the case looks like with everything glued on it. Now I'm gonna put it in my clear case here and we're gonna see how it looks. And this is what it looks like in the clear case. I think it came so cute. I love how you can really see like the layers on certain elements. So now I want to see how it looks like on my actual phone. And this is the final result. This was definitely a project, but it was a really fun one at that. I think this is going to be my new hobby.